Marino.
Lunch God. Cold coffee. Yeah.
Slam down like Jamtown, we don't pop shots at sundown. I ride around, we stay grinning, they really mad just cause you winning,
What?
But tell me why the fuck are you so extra, Tell me why the fuck are you so extra?
Yo. Welcome to the Rogue Lamb. It's your boy. I hate when people say it's your boy, it's your girl. It's me, the lamb. And I'm not the lamb. I'm not going to make that thing. It's me, Pierre, obviously. It's the same guys every episode. I got Rachel in the house today.
Again.
Rachel, again. She's a recurring guest on the show. Repeat offender. Rachel Zuniga.
That was close.
Yeah.
Zuniga.
You know, there it is. So, before we got on air, you were telling me the story.
Yeah.
Hit the keynotes, then continue.
All right. So, community activism / advocate work. I had been working unofficially on a campaign with my friend Chevis, working on the Louis Conway Jr. for District 1 City Council campaign. Very recently, I'm going to apologize for the heavy breathing.
Oh, no.
I just ate.
Usually what I do is I just stop.
Well, this is a long story.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm giving the short version.
Yeah, just,
But anyways.
Breathe through your nose, out your mouth.
So we were working on the campaign. There was some difference of opinion as to how a campaign event at Givens Park was supposed to be handled between Louis Conway and Chevis Watson. They had a disagreement. Chevis quit the campaign. And there has been a significant sort of series of events that followed that fallout.
These two guys are... I know who they are. I don't know. Did you say who they were? You said their names.
Yeah, Louis Conway Jr. and Chevis Watson.
Yeah, but who are they?
So Louis Conway Jr. is a District 1 City Council candidate. He has gotten a lot of attention in the media because he is running with a felony conviction for manslaughter.
Badass. He's a badass.
He is not a badass. Well, actually, it's funny that you say that because on the campaign trail, he has held his charge up to be self-defense. And when you go through the court records, that's not the case. Self-defense is not mentioned. There was no, the other person didn't have a gun. The other guy stole from Louis, and Louis went and stabbed him in the chest and killed him.
Holy shit.
Yeah. But that information was just made public today by the Bulldog.
Shout out the Bulldog.
Yes. So after the falling out, during the campaign, I had worked briefly on a campaign sort of avenue called the People's Assembly. I was voluntold that I was going to be on the People's Assembly. And after this falling out that Louis had with Chevis, I was kicked off of the People's Assembly. So what I was saying before we got on is that part of what drew me to Louis's campaign is that he held himself up to be a feminist. He, said women are so intelligent. That's why he keeps women around him, blah, blah, blah. And he has made sexual comments to me. While at an official campaign event, he's married. He did not know at the time the situation between me and Chevis. Me and Chevis are just friends, but he did not know that. So just blatant.
So kind of made like a pass at you.
Right. And it's just blatantly disrespectful. So for me, that was sort of strike one, but I did what most women who are, made past at in an uncomfortable way is I laughed it off.
Yeah.
But I told Chevis about it when we got back in the car after Givens, and again, we both kind of laughed it off, but did express that it was inappropriate. So after the falling out at Givens, Chevis had reached out to Louis to try to apologize. Louis ignored him. And then after I believe it was a TAJ meeting, yes, Texas Advocates for Justice meeting at Sam's Barbecue, Chevis tried to talk to Louis in the parking lot. Louis peeled out onto 12th Street.
Peeled out?
Yes.
Would you call would you call them they're not
he's a politician.
Okay, they're acting like they're acting like we're in the
Yes.
I've never heard of the guys, but I mean they're acting like.
So Chevis is not a politician. Chevis is a community organizer.
Okay.
Lewis works prior to running. Works with grassroots leadership and whatnot.
Yeah.
So just acting ridiculous. So pulls out, leaves. Now at this point, Chevis and I have both been to their house and sat with them and talked with them. You know, we love you. You're welcome here.
Yeah.
You need to trust us. Blah blah blah. So there's this discord happening, and Chevis wants to have a conversation with Lewis. He views him as a friend. Kind of holds him on this pedestal, right?
Yeah.
So after we leave Sam's barbecue, Chevis says he's gonna, he wants to talk to Lewis. He's gonna drop by the house. Excuse me. He's gonna drop by the house.
They're about to fight.
And I was like, well, no. I was like, well, Chevis was trying to make peace is what the whole thing was. So anyway, so he shows up at the house, garage doors partway open. Now keep in mind, Lewis has gone to prison for manslaughter. So he's dealt with the criminal justice system.
Yeah.
And that's another huge part of his political platform is criminal justice reform. Fuck the police type shit, right? So, can I say that?
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, no, yeah, this is a rated whatever podcast. You can say whatever you want.
Good, because I already said it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the way Lewis holds himself up in private company, right? And the stance he takes with regard to his campaign. So we get there, the garage door is halfway open. From being there, Chevis knows that Lewis is probably in the garage, knocks on the garage door. He says, hey, it's me. I want to talk. And Lewis goes, you came to my house, bro? Hey, call the cops. Telling his wife to call the police.
Because you're a murderer. Not playing.
No, because you not, can't hold yourself up to be this huge advocate of criminal justice reform and whatnot, and someone's on probation, and the first thing that you do is call the police. And he didn't knock on the door and be like, "Yo, come out!" Da 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 da. He said, "I want to talk." So Lewis comes out, yells, screams, carries on. So we leave.
Yeah.
And long story short, there's been so much fallout after that it's just absurd. And essentially they're trying to get some legal action involved. And this is coming from people who claim to understand trauma, who claim to understand the impacts of the criminal justice system on Black men. This is coming from community, quote unquote, activists who think that they have the mental capacity or the authority to, quote unquote, lead the people, but they can't even sit down and have a conversation with themselves. And it's gotten out of hand.
So you think he shouldn't have called the cops on him?
No.
Then he was extra for that?
Super. If he had shown up threatening or if he had shown up with any sort of aggression, maybe. But again, that goes back to within the community that we work in, everybody says there are ways to resolve things without involving the police because we all know what the potential repercussions are when police get involved with Black men.
No, what are they? No, I'm joking. I know.
Shut up.
I know. Yeah. So what is a male feminist anyway? What is that? Is there such a thing? Because I feel like
it's a male that's a feminist.
Nah, I don't know what that is. I feel like
so. I guess you want to know what a feminist is.
Go over. Let's define a feminist first. Then we can see if your boy was just like virtue signaling that he was a. All right, what's a feminist exactly? In a nutshell.
In a nutshell, a person who believes in equity between the sexes and genders. And again, that's super in a nutshell because that ignores the intersectionality that
like
feminism.
Male and female or all even the new sexes and the new
genders. There's no new sexes.
Genders. Y's, Z's, E's, all that stuff.
Y's, Z's, E's.
I don't know what they're called. All the little everybody's everything now. Like
there are some people who don't assign themselves or don't identify to a gender binary.
Yeah.
Who they feel they're equal parts male and female in personality, not necessarily in physical parts. And I think that's a big misconception is that gender identity is not the same thing as sexual orientation and it's not the same as sex. So a person that is born with male physical character or physical parts and assigned a male gender identity at birth may not align.
Which makes sense, right?
Right. It does, and the science shows it. The science shows that the Gosh, I'm not even going to get into like the science-y terms because I don't remember.
Yeah.
But essentially, the brain of a female to male trans person more aligns with the brain of a male than it does with a female. So that person might have been born with female parts, but their brain actually functions and it looks like a male brain. There's science behind it. So it's not just, I feel like I'm a boy. That's not what it's about. So when it comes to feminism, there's this third wave of feminism. I'm even going to go a step further and call it a fourth wave because I think the third wave of feminism is the white feminism.
Is the what?
White feminism.
White feminism?
The Megyn Kellys who can...
Because there were 3 waves initially, right?
Right.
There's like a political wave. What's the second wave?
I don't even know.
You don't know? Shit, I can't remember. There's
I
the
can't even
political wave.
And it depends also on who you talk to.
Yeah.
So there's just like the identifying women as contributors to society with the right to vote. And then just it evolves from there. For me, I don't like to get too much into the history of feminism, which is problematic of me because it ignores the fact that women of color and non-gender binary people were a part of the movement from its inception. It ignores that. There's a movie called Iron Jawed Angels, which is about women's suffrage. And when I was younger, like 16, 17, I loved this movie. And it's a good movie. But it doesn't include any women of color. And women of color were there right along with these white women with Susan B. Anthony protesting and fighting and hunger striking and all that. And they're completely left out of the conversation. Not only that, they weren't granted the right to vote. So...
Male feminists.
Male feminist.
Yeah.
So if we get into the nutshell definition of feminism, it's someone who believes in equity across the board for men, women, non-gender binary, black, white, everything across the board.
Yeah.
And that's the concept of intersectional feminism that I think gets left out of the conversation in this quote unquote man-hating.
And that's what it comes off as. Like the new wave of feminism comes off as.
It does.
They're kind of trying to force their look.
But I also wonder, is that what gets most attention because it's so extreme? Just like with any movement, there's outliers, right?
Yeah.
There's going to be the extremists. There are the man haters.
And usually the loudest ones, the ones that are most extreme, they're the loudest.
Loud and wrong.
And they kind of muddy up the water for
Right,
everybody.
right.
Just like Black Lives Matter had the same
Exactly.
problem. Yeah.
Exactly. Black Lives Matter did not start out as, kill the police.
Yeah, it's just
But
people,
you have those people.
Yeah, the extremists. Yeah.
And that they align themselves with the movement and like
everybody
you said,
focus on the
water.
bad ducks.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that was my problem. That's why
I agree.
I like feminism. I like some aspects of feminism, right? But I just feel like a lot of things are forced, and I feel like a lot of like snowflake people like sorry, and then a lot of
stupid
I feel like
term.
now, yeah, I know. I feel like now people have. It's just a lot of outrage. People are looking for groups to be outraged.
But this is the
I feel
same
like a
thing
lot
we
of
talked about
feminism-
last time. People aren't just now looking to be outraged. It's that because there is a national conversation, people feel empowered to say when they are outraged.
But now it's some people speak out of it's like the aggression's too much. Like especially with the younger generation, like the younger college students, they're a lot more angry. People are a lot more angry now for small shit. You know what I mean? There's real things to be upset about, and then there's things just to be clicky about.
But you can't tell people what they can't be
I
upset
understand
about.
that. I understand
but
that.
I agree.
You know,
I kind of see both sides. So on the one hand, I think it's a lot easier to fight the microaggressions, to correct the verbiage that we use when talking about people. It's a lot easier to fix that than it is to fix systemic racism.
Is it, though? To change the way people talk?
To change the way people talk versus changing systemic racism? You think changing systemic racism is easier?
I think changing the way people talk is. I feel like that's
not easy.
Not fair. Yeah, it's
not easy.
You're trying to change the way people were raised.
It's not about changing the way people were raised. You can.
If you're telling somebody they can't say something, say things that they've been saying their whole lives. You're policing speech, and I feel like that's
the
dangerous,
thing. I don't think it's necessarily about policing speech because, of course, you can say whatever you want, but in a quote unquote civilized society, we're not going to go around intentionally hurting people, right? So
intention, you're all about intention, right?
Right.
Okay.
And I think the vast majority of quote unquote minorities are. So like if you're around a white person who says the N-word with an A.
I'm all about attention. I swear. I'm all about attention. Like
And
if he's talking with his
cool.
friends, I don't know how he was raised. They could have grew up saying that shit all the time. I'm not gonna attack him.
Right, but there are some black people who would be offended. I get offended. There are some people who think it's inappropriate. And if you extend the information to them, they no longer have the right to claim ignorance. Because ignorance just means a lack of information. Everybody wants to take that word, so offensively, but it just means a lack of information. If I give you the information, you no longer have a lack of information. Therefore, if you no longer correct it, that to me says you don't give a shit how I feel about it. So if men walk around calling women bitches, and women are saying, hey, don't call us bitches, and you continue to call us bitches,
understand
that means you don't give a shit.
Yeah.
If a non-black person, I'll say, continually says the N-word, even after they've been corrected by people of color, by black people specifically, and they continue to do it, they just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And I think keeping the general society informed as to what is and is not appropriate is the key. It's about getting the information out there and then making it clear who I am and am not cool with. If I tell you that something you're doing is hurtful to me and you don't care, I don't need to fuck with you. And that lets us know who goes where.
Some people, but you can agree, some people do take it out of hand though, right?
Yeah. But I also think that the vast majority of the time, again, back to intention, I think the vast majority of the time, the people that come with good intention but say the wrong thing, the people that are affected by that wrong thing they said will correct them, but not be outraged about it.
Yeah.
And I think the way it's handled is different, or is what matters.
Okay. Look who it is. My brother's here.
Tardy for the party.
Hello. Very tardy for the party.
He lives down the street.
10 minutes away, and I'm late. How's it going, everybody? What's up?
Hi.
How you doing?
Nice to officially meet you.
Hey.
You didn't remember?
No.
You weren't here last time she was here?
No.
It was,
I missed that one. That was Ashley.
Yeah.
That was when Ashley was still on.
The cousin.
Yeah. Ashley. Yeah. You weren't here? Who the fuck else was here?
It wasn't me. It was
her brother. Her brother was
Yeah.
here.
Yes.
Cousin.
That's when they had that long, y'all had that alien talk.
Alien talk.
Yeah, they were talking about.
We talked about aliens?
At one part.
Not when Rachel was here.
That wasn't me. Not I said the
Different podcasts. There's so many.
Hey, you ever heard of a male feminist?
Yes.
Are you a male feminist?
Thank you.
No.
Why can't he just be like?
Wait.
I'm a guy who does not like when women are treated unfair.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, so what is your
universal.
definition of feminism? Why do you dissociate yourself from that word?
Honestly, growing up, I felt like in my head when you say feminist, because I'm still in that ignorant part, it's like I think of immediately shaven head, very very strong and passionate.
Lesbian, maybe a little lesbian.
Very passionate about and being well informed, and that's a form of intimidation. So for me, that's how it was, because I was like, so much, and whatever you got going on, I believe it, and I don't want to try you. I'm on your side. That's how I always integrated into it, because my girlfriend's a feminist. So, and she checks me. So, and after that, and then just watching, watching the news more and reading more and just talking to more people.
It's one of those things that it's hard to not. It's harder to distance yourself from it the more you learn from it.
Honestly, I tried to run from it, and then whoop, boomerang came right back.
Hey, fuck that.
No, because it's funny, because I'll say this thing that we was just watching. It's on a private practice, and we were just talking about how a lot of there was guys on there who he didn't want this girl that he slept with to have the child, so he was forcing her to get an abortion. Took her to the clinic, was trying to pull her out the car, yelling at her, and she never did it. And when she finally had the baby, he was looking at the baby and was just like, I can't believe this, I'm so guilty. And then he's against abortion after that. And I'm just like, a lot of the stuff that's going on, the stuff that women have to fall under, was created by men, and that's absurd. In just the part of where they didn't have control or a say.
Yeah, men are shit, man. I get it.
No.
No. Wait. Calm down. Both of you relax.
Well, because it's
both you triggered fucks. Relax.
Nah.
what I'm saying that most of the world's problems were created by men because men,
Yes.
men in power, men are fucked up. When I say men, men are shits, dudes. Even throughout history, men have been pretty shitty to women.
Well, it's just
but
more
times have changed though. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
yeah, I think so.
Well, times are beginning to change.
No. Times changed. What was it? 1960?
No, that was an impact. Those were puddles in the pond.
Yes.
And
I mean, it's baby steps to everything.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
We've come a long way from how we used to. Women couldn't vote. Women
we've
couldn't
come
do a lot of shit.
Great distance. I was just saying more of just like they didn't have a chance to, say anything. And it's not that men did tell them not to, but at the same time, it's just like, I'm not saying men are shit. It's just, it happens. But the fact there's a change.
We're animals. We're animals.
We're animals, but women are psycho. Like
not all of them.
No. Women are psycho. We're animals. Like it balances. Because we'll work hard and provide for the family, but as soon as you cross a woman, you're getting chopped.
Maybe.
So
maybe
the right one will cut
I am
you.
not psycho. Maybe the right one. I am very level-headed. I'd like to think.
No, but I think we've come a long way. It's great.
I think feminism is fucking ridiculous.
Just feminist, but like I couldn't.
But I don't want to harp on feminism.
But I think also you have to consider. A lot of people neglect the fact that feminism is for men also. Feminism seeks to address issues like child custody. Mm-hmm. Women, I think it's like 87%, I don't even know the number. Mm-hmm. In child custody cases, women get primary custody.
Oh, yeah.
Regardless of the situation, regardless if dad is an upstanding, beautiful, amazing citizen and mom is a shit.
Yeah, the courts are made for women anyway for the most part. Men always get the shit.
They're not made for women.
Men mostly.
The criminal justice system
doesn't made for women.
It's mostly in favor of the women, right?
As far as child law,
as far as children, definitely.
Okay,
what the fuck was I talking about?
Dude, well, it was very broad.
Like drugs or something? Yeah,
no, not drugs. It just said
you
said women get it easier in court. I was just like,
well, yeah, when it comes to children, that's what we're talking about.
Yes, you was just missing that part.
But that's an element.
I thought we were fucking talking about that. She just said.
I peeped the Rogue Lamb merch, by the way. That is fire. I was like, what does that say?
It's only the beginning.
See, man, we're gonna circle back to this, but go on, Rachel. Go on. We're circling back to this.
So, but that's something that I think a lot of, with regard to feminism, that people negate. We women, when I say we, I'm talking about feminists, advocate for the right of men to be able to express their full spectrum of emotion because society comes down on men so fucking hard. Be a man, shut up, don't cry, so that whenever men become grown, that's part of the reason why domestic violence is so fucking rampant, is because men don't know how to process emotion as anything other than anger. If I hurt your feelings, you're mad about it. If somebody passes, you're mad about it. If you're, whatever the emotion is, it automatically gets translated into anger because that is the only emotion that men are socially able to express. If you cry, you're a pussy.
She's hitting notes. I was listening.
But it's true. But that's feminism addresses that too. There's this.
Which part? I ain't heard it.
Which part of feminism? Or
I've heard feminism in the favor.
But again, you're only listening to outliers.
You're
listening to outliers, and that's the
but
problem.
they're the loudest ones. That's the hard. That's what you.
But
that's
when you have to stop being ignorant and research for yourself. You cannot make decisions about an entire populace of people based on.
This isn't just me watching YouTube though. You know what I'm saying? This is just.
I understand.
I've never met. You know what I'm saying? I've never met any kind of feminist break anything down to me. The ones I have met. They're aggressive, they're angry. Men suck.
But they say that about black men too. You're aggressive and you're angry whenever you fight for yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Whenever you stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
Feminists are bitches because we're standing up for ourselves, because we're asserting ourselves.
Correct. That's exactly the stereotype that I had. That's why I looked at it as an aggressive thing. Mm-hmm.
Just from where it came from, I feel like y'all the whole wave has changed. Why? He's supposed to be the middle ground.
You have to have a.
But he's on your side. He's on your side.
No, I'm not. I'm not on your side. I'm just more like you saying a lot of what my girlfriend says, which is like great to hear.
He's already hocus pocus.
Nah, it's not hocus pocus, man. I'm just more of, like I said, I know where I stand. I'm not. I don't feel comfortable calling myself a male feminist.
You gonna go do the slut walk?
No.
With a fucking skirt on or what?
Hold on. I have a problem with the slut walk.
Well, okay, yeah,
we can talk about that.
No, I feel like we agree on that.
Well,
go ahead.
The problem is that a slut walk is something that white women have the right to do.
Yeah.
Take for example the way I'm dressed. I am a Latina woman, but I look white. I can walk out of the house with my hair in a ball on my head, no makeup on my face, glasses, a hoodie, 3-day-old jeans, and torn chucks. And not get a second look. If a black woman did this, she would get all kind of crazy looks. She'd get called a crackhead. She'd get called XYZ, all this other stuff.
We talked about that before, like with the little shorts. A lot of young white girls could wear.
If a
black girl with any kind of figure wears
she
that,
ratchet, she a hoe. Yes,
She's done it.
So that's why I have a problem. That is why I have a problem with the slut walk. Amber Rose gets to claim her blackness whenever it's convenient for her. See, and it's convenient for her whenever she comes into the hip hop world. Whenever it comes to this slut shit, and I agree with the concept, but it's also a concept that is only benefiting white women right now. There's no level of intersectionality to it. Even though that is something that she attempts to address within the slut walk, she tries to address like queer identity, transgenderism, blah, 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 blah. She tries to address all of these things, but negates to acknowledge widely the fact that these issues primarily affect women of color. They don't affect you. You're pretty and you have all the Eurocentric features that society celebrates and a fat ass. And that's what it comes down to. So you get celebrated for it. It's pretty big. You get celebrated for it.
Yeah. I was just thinking about when we would make fun of when we're watching like people who Yara Shahidi and Zendaya, we were talking about racial ambiguity, how it helps. Like for me, for instance, like you look at us, you can't tell we're related, but
you should see my brother.
But like if I, just a lot of times the way, just because you can't tie me to something, I do get treated different sometimes, and it's just not even just me, it's people.
Super.
But it's wild when you see it happen. You're just like, damn.
Yeah, I have a friend from high school. She's Nicaraguan. When you look at her, she's a model. When you look at her, she could be black. She could be Middle Eastern. She could be Mexican. She could be Central. She could be all of these things. She's got the high cheekbones, the nice shaped nose, and blah, 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 blah.
Fuck's a nice shaped nose. Fuck's that?
Like, the little button, the picture that people take to their plastic surgeon and say, I want this nose.
The pictures that they use to bait dudes on DMs.
Yeah.
How you get scammed, those noses.
But she gets told all the time that she's racially ambiguous. And whenever you take a splash of melanin and put it on Eurocentric features, that's when you get someone that is societally considered beautiful. Yeah. And that is problematic as fuck.
Oh, it is. It is. But what's great is when people address it, like, people like Yara Shahidi and others.
Who's that?
She, you said, who is she?
The teabag?
Yeah, teabag.
Damn, we was trying to be feminist and now she's getting teabagged.
Teabag.
I got teabagged on the podcast,
no.
bruh.
Yeah, black.
I had to.
Hey, the screen goes, it fades to black.
Nah, man. I'm drinking tea and the teabag fell into the cup. Let's not get that twisted.
Now you stupid, dog. Black. That's
listen. No, all weekend when I was at drill, we was cracking on that, dog.
No, I love black.
No, I like Black Patrol. Black Patrol is hilarious, dog.
Dog, Black Patrol is
Black Patrol is so stupid.
You're under arrest. Hold on, what's this? What's that in your pocket? I don't know. Let me go. Y'all can't hold me. Oh yeah, we're gonna hold you.
This racist.
Yeah, I will show you racist.
Alone.
Yeah, leave me alone.
What kills me though? What kills me though is this is the part I'm gonna touch. That's probably gonna ruin it though. Is that I look at the dude's faces and I'm like, do y'all feel embarrassed that in the height of what's going on, you've done this?
They probably get paid pretty well.
No, they getting paid well, but I'm just like, damn.
Would you act like a random black dude put over for like $2,000?
For $2,000?
Yeah, I would.
Two?
Yeah, I would.
$2,000?
But I'm saying like it's gonna be that
probably
moment.
like 10
But are you
minutes.
mad at Kanye?
Listen, it's gonna be.
I think Kanye's genius for what he's doing.
Whoa.
At first, I was angry at what he was doing, but then I was like, he's actually pretty smart. He weaseled his way into the White House to talk to Trump. Even if most of the shit he's saying was like delusional fucking fantasy shit.
All of this shit.
I mean, he talking about freeing Larry Hoover, man. That's all I really got out of it. Other than was he building schools in Chicago, fixing Chicago?
But he's doing that after all of the backlash from the Donda West Foundation.
I get it, but he made it into the White House. To at least he's doing more than a lot of black celebs or other black celebrities that motherfuckers worship. He's doing way more than them. He's not just saying, "Oh, I don't fuck Trump on a microphone at a concert." He's doing more than that. You know what I'm saying? He's making bigger moves, bigger steps.
Who would you say is saying, "Oh, fuck Trump," and then not doing anything?
Jay-Z does that shit.
Are you kidding me?
Have you listened to Everything Is Love?
A song?
No, the album.
Oh, album. Oh, did he get in the fucking White House? The album.
The reason why he made Tidal. Did you follow? You follow Tidal,
bro?
right?
I don't care about none of that.
But
he didn't. He's not. What is he doing? I'm saying, what is he doing for people though? Jay-Z, like
you
as
mean
far as
beyond the documentaries and the donations and
You know
opening
what he's
shelters,
doing for that kid who
et
killed
cetera.
himself after he got out of Rikers Island? He's making that kid a movie that's profiting
Bro,
his family.
I don't care about
That's
the
a black
movies,
kid.
man.
What are you talking about?
Calm down.
He's doing something for the people. Exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
He ain't do. He's not. He
feel like
hasn't
he's not doing enough.
He's not doing. He
on
can
a
do way more.
wide enough scale.
Like,
I
understand.
disagree
He
because
what do he do? What Jay-Z? He like what he
First-
pay to get people out of prison? Some shit like that. He did some shit
yeah,
like that.
no, they do that all.
No.
Him and
He did it.
Beyonce pay bones
Fabulous
all the
did
time.
that shit. Like they paid guys.
Everybody does something though.
This is hurting my ears.
My point was, Kanye's not a total idiot for what he's doing.
But you're wrong.
I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not wrong.
No,
Because
I'm on
Jay-Z-
your side.
I'm gonna
Jay-Z
Google.
does-
I'm gonna see what
you don't
Jay-Z
need to
does
Google.
now.
You don't have
That's
to.
a-
I have to.
But
I'm
that's
not
the
the type
thing.
just to go. I'm not gonna keep talking about. If I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. But I'm gonna look it up now.
But
So
no, what
what
I'm
I'm
saying
saying-
is I agree with you that Kanye is not an idiot because people like no, because I'm
I
on
think
your
he's
side with that
mentally
because I
unstable.
and that's the fucked up
Yeah,
part. That's
but
the fucked up part because I mean
still.
he might be, but more than likely no. It's just that we don't understand and that
I mean,
you just
he's
let it
been
play out.
diagnosed.
I'm letting it play out.
So
'cause-
and you're right.
Right.
It may be a ploy. It may, and I've been like low key praying that it is, but to the Jay-Z point, Jay-Z does a lot that he doesn't seek recognition for. So I do highly recommend you.
I don't know if
look
he'll
into
pop
it.
up under bailout charities, but he'll pop up.
No, he did some bailing out.
No,
dudes
so
who
like
were convicted
for
of wrongs.
that, so during all the Ferguson riots, him and Beyonce, were
Trayvon
paying
Martin
more.
stuff.
He
I'm
did the
pretty sure
Trayvon-
he's connected to that. I don't.
Bro,
Well,
follow
not
you're
just
him.
that,
missing, you're missing
he-
what I'm saying, dog. I
he-
feel like
he wants him
Kanye
to do
did
more on a wider
his scale.
scale.
He on a bigger scale than Jay-Z. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, I don't-
even with the shenanigans, he still
Well,
did.
I mean, I
don't
look
agree.
at it like in a war, you got tanks and you got Apaches and you have foot soldiers. Like everybody plays their role and they make their
What's an
impact.
Apache besides
An Apache is a
tank?
helicopter.
Ah,
But I'm just saying that there's different. Just a chessboard, because layman's terms,
Yeah.
just chessboard. There's different pieces, and they all have different effects. So the way I look at
I
it,
understood the other
I
stuff.
do not understand. Well, I'm saying every piece plays its part.
right.
So
Kanye West got
so
plenty of
what I'm saying
charitable
is, what I'm-
fucking donations.
And
No,
that's,
duh, I'm not-
but
that's
that's
not a-
the thing.
that's not up for debate.
Most of the large names in hip hop have a lot of
Yeah, they give
giving back.
Yeah.
A
Everybody
lot.
gives back though.
Not everybody.
Well, I'm saying I'm not everybody, but everybody.
All of the big names.
Not even big names. Look up Austin people. They're having
Oh.
fundraisers so often.
My point was, people talk shit about Kanye, but he's doing something. It's a lot of rappers that don't.
We
do
don't
shit.
know what he's doing yet, though.
That's the part that's fucking
The
with
nigga
people
got in the
'cause
White
y'all
House.
don't know.
The nigga got in the White House and spoke directly to Trump. That's a lot to me. He got in the White House and
But
spoke
what did
directly
they
to the
talk
you can't
about?
ignore that, but
what did
it's-
they talk about?
I don't know what they talk about other than
except
what the news
slavery and
found
the
out.
choice.
We don't know what was talked about between the coin toss. Like I'm
Other-
glad I'm seeing him in there, and I'm just like he's in there. Like I'm not gonna. He's in there. Not that it's great or good. He's in there,
And he's
you
not
just
just
have to
on the
play it out.
microphone. Fuck Trump. I mean, he's
Right.
making moves,
He
bro.
said
I'm not
fuck
saying
George Bush
he's changing the world, but he's doing more than a lot of other rappers. A lot of niggas' favorite rappers are doing anyway.
Well,
You feel like just his presence in the White House, regardless
Says a lot.
regardless of what was done there,
regardless of what was done there, what do you mean?
because we don't know what they talked about.
exactly.
So he could have gone in and been like, "Oh, well, this is how you further disenfranchise Black people."
Or he could have went in there
could've
with
been
a
the
fucking
complete
plan.
opposite.
Right. So
Right?
that's
So
what
we
I'm
don't
saying.
know.
We can't say that he's done more for anybody
I
because
think
we don't.
we should.
Because
everybody-
all we got online is a list of charities and niggas.
I
that's
think
done.
honestly, I think
But-
actually the whole thing was streamed because there was a gang of cameras in there.
Honestly,
But
yeah,
like,
but they didn't. They
I
didn't
didn't
get
watch
so
it.
much
They got,
of it
they
is
got like
pushed
the
out
goofy
there.
shit.
I just look at it and I don't make a judgment. I'm just like, okay, because I'm not gonna flip because everyone's flipping, and I'm not gonna be great because I'm a Kanye fan. I'm just gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna watch this play out because I don't know what I would do there. I'd probably flop. So I'm like, okay, let's see how this plays out. That's all I could do. I'll just wait for history to write itself.
I would
and
not-
I'm still riding with Kanye. I'm not saying fuck Kanye ever. I started off as a fan.
He says wild shit.
He
so, I
does
mean,
this
whatever.
like he's done this multiple
He has.
times.
He
He said
has-
fuck
he
George
has-
Bush on TV.
Well, he said George Bush doesn't care about.
Or he said, okay, but then in turn we all said
Yes.
fuck George Bush.
Well,
so
and that's kind of always been Kanye's sort of flavor, right?
and it's
He's
not
always
though.
been-
It's not. It's not.
He's
that's not
always
his flavor.
Kanye had a recent opioid addiction, so he's,
Oh well,
fucked up.
I'm talking about just from the days past before
he's
talking
been different
about
since
him
that
being-
wrek. They said since that wreck he's been different. Since
I'm
the
but
surgery,
talking about-
he got
like that,
hooked
though.
on opioids. He's
Right.
not the same Kanye he's always been. He's
I mean, we don't
he's,
know.
he's
Right.
still he's loopy-er. He's crazier than what he was before.
honestly, I'm not. I mean, I don't. I can't care because it's like I'm just watching. I'm just watching
Right,
and it's
we're
like
just spectators.
because even if he ends up like taking, I don't know, like whatever he does is not gonna affect me. I'm still like just watching. It doesn't make me hate him at all because like even with Trump, what he does, it's like that is some crazy stuff. But why would I like project some hate onto you? I'm just looking at it to see how it affects people. I'm looking at,
But they're all
I can tell you as a first generation American.
but that's what I'm saying. Like,
Hold
but
on.
that's what I'm saying.
Hold on, hold on.
Brett
As a-
Kavanaugh.
As a first generation
No,
American.
Brett Kavanaugh. I was like the worst person in there. Brett's about to be in there, I believe.
Yes,
Brett Kavanaugh.
But he's not even just the worst motherfucker.
No, but I'm just saying in general. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's
So-
pieces of shit everywhere.
So first of all, as a first generation American, my family is from Honduras. There's an entire fleet of people walking to the border right now from Honduras. Trump is sending military, not regular National Guard. He's sending the fucking military. They're gassing them right now.
Are they?
Refugees.
Is
Yes.
that really happening?
Yes.
That's why. Have you seen the videos of like? I saw me and my girl watched the video of these two kids getting kidnapped from. Well, not even kidnapped. They just had bags over their heads and they all walked to a car. And I was just like, this is some just.
From what I heard,
So
most
you
of the
can't
people coming over
say Trump
illegally
is
are.
Trump is not bad. Trump is not fucking
Oh
atrocious.
no!
Trump is
whoa,
trash.
No,
I said
we're
Trump-
not saying he's a good guy.
I said Trump's not the worst person to be in office. He's. I mean, they're all shit.
Maybe not the
Trump's
worst.
Not the worst.
he's doing some bad
that
shit though.
doesn't-
Like we see
doesn't
that.
say
But
a
I mean,
lot.
They say a
like-
lot of the people coming over here bringing in like child sex trafficking, like kids taken for sex trafficking,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
No, you're not wrong.
Yeah, so he's saying the reason
Wait,
he's turning
wait,
a lot of these
wait.
people back because most of them are fucking convicted rapists and
Now
Mexicans.
listen, I'm never gonna stand behind what he's doing. I'm just
Everybody
watching it.
coming
That's
over
incorrect.
here.
That's
Everybody
completely
coming over here is
incorrect.
not a fucking A1 citizen. It's true, right? That's
Yes,
can we
that's-
at least
that's
we can
common
appreciate
sense.
That, right?
That is common sense.
Now,
Hold on,
now
though.
I'm
Y'all-
not saying
oh my
families
God.
don't deserve a chance to come over here, right?
No,
Right.
because you don't even know what the fucking process is.
Do you?
Yes.
Tell me the process.
I'm a first
She-
generation
she just
American.
said-
What
You
do
just-
you mean?
She
Hey,
said
hey,
that.
get off
She
the
said
sack.
that.
Let her talk.
I'm not on her sack.
Hey,
I'm just
put your
saying.
palms down. Let her talk. Okay,
Listen.
I get it. You're first generation. All right. So what's wrong?
People
what's up?
come in seeking asylum.
Okay.
You have to physically be present in the United States to present for asylum.
Okay.
So it's not like I can go to the Mexican government and say, "Hey, I need asylum in the United States."
Asylum from.
From the drug wars, the violence. My fucking uncle was shot to death on his porch.
And I'm sorry for that, but you can
hold
understand
on,
some of them
listen.
are not great. Right?
Listen,
Okay, go ahead.
the vetting process, less than 1% of the people that claim asylum get through.
Okay.
Less than 1%.
Okay.
While you're waiting asylum, you have court dates that you have to make. The
Understand.
government keeps an eye on you. So this fucking bullshit that's being thrown out there that there are, some rapists and it's
Logical.
But go ahead.
the percentage of people that are coming through that potentially could be not great people don't make it through. That are following the legal process to get through.
Right.
The people that are getting through that are dangerous aren't going through the legal process. So to punish people that are trying to do the right thing, that are coming to the border, that are claiming asylum, that are going through the process, that are making their court dates, these are not the people to
And
punish.
they're not getting in. You're saying.
They're not even being allowed to claim asylum. They're being separated at the border from their families. The parents are being deported.
With that, I heard that's part of the process too. They take the kids away from the parents.
That
and
was
parents
not
away from
part of the
kids.
process prior to
I heard
that.
they're not doing it like to be assholes. They're doing it because it's part of the.
No.
That's what they claim.
That's what the
they
Trump
said to get
administration is
everybody,
saying. That's not
cool,
true.
Cool down. They thought that would cool people down, but that's
It's
protocol.
bullshit. That's not what it's ever been.
Right.
So they're deporting parents. They're sending kids to fucking deportation court without representation. 3-year-olds representing themselves in court that don't speak the language, that are signing legal documents.
I don't know.
They're being put in the foster care system. They're being adopted out without their families having any fucking idea where they're at.
What's
know.
more
I don't know
wild to
anything
me?
about that.
What was
Not
you
to
didn't?
mention it costs
I
it
do,
costs
but I don't-
so much
Well,
money.
It just
I don't
depends
know
if you
which-
read into it though.
Yeah,
That's
you
not
can
your
read. You
fault.
can read into
Yeah.
both, right?
Yes.
It's some of that. I mean,
There's two sides to the coin.
You're gonna believe what you
Everything.
believe either way, right?
It's
And
not
I'm
about, but for me, it's not about belief.
I get it. You
I
have a personal
have-
connection to this.
I have family. I have
I get
people that have gone through
Right,
the process.
I think that's
so
like
you
a
can't
lot-
sit and tell
that's a
me
lot of
what
people.
that it is or
I'm
is
not telling you
something.
anything. I'm just saying what I've read and I've read a little bit of everything. So I don't know. Without being there, I just gotta assume what I can assume. I gotta get logic out of each one and just decide what I believe in. That's
So you're more like saying
I'm not
tell me
saying
about
no.
this. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, I'm like, and both of them got good facts, but I mean, without me being there, I'm only gonna believe what I read, right? So I mean, I don't know what's really going on.
So I can send you the government website that illustrates, that breaks down the process to claim asylum.
Okay.
And this is the same argument that I use on fucking Facebook all the time with people who want to claim that, oh, they broke the law coming here. It literally says you have to be physically present in order to claim asylum. And it breaks down the entire process. There's now 2 people in my family that have gone through the official process to become an American citizen. My dad's been in the States since he was 13, and he's still just a resident alien. Because the test is hard and it's fucking expensive.
Right.
A lot of Americans think fast.
It happens to everybody. It's happening.
Americans couldn't pass that test.
It's happening here in the U.S. It happens overseas, and it's all fucked up. It's just more like you when you spot the wrongs, that's when you get riled up because you're like, I can't believe that. And I've talked to some guys from Africa who were seeking asylum and some Iraqis, and guys.
It's always brown people.
And I've talked to it's everybody, even Asians, and it's like. For me, I understand. I'm more aware of what happens, being aware more so because it's like it's happening to everybody. When you zoom in on yours, it just blows up more because it's so close to you. So the best thing that helps is awareness. I've learned, like being aware. That's like the biggest thing you could do because that way you can at least develop some human empathy towards the situation.
And that's what we were saying before is like once I give you the information, if you're genuinely ignorant, once you're not I give you the information, but once you're given the information and you can no longer claim genuine ignorance, that's when somebody or a population can decide whether or not they fuck with you.
Right. It's all about being aware. That way you can, because when you talk to someone, you learn something new about it. And like I said, you end up meeting some people going right through that fire and you see them come out of it or you see them not come back out of it. And it's, like I said, the part I take from it is, learning of the information. You hear some wonderful stories and, I move on because it's like, slavery still happened. And even before slavery,
like 2 weeks
everything.
Ago. Huh? You was in church like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm not saying, what does that mean?
What are you doing in church? All the information available when you're still going to church.
Oh.
Yeah, I go to church because it's nice and motivational. I like to hear people talk.
No, that's some motivation. Dr. Seuss, nigga, he motivates.
Nigga,
well, listen to Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, and we buy his books. Yeah. Do we not?
Yeah.
But
how's that different?
On that same token, religion is another one of those things that...
Religion is cool and convenient, so I'm cool.
My
like,
perception of it...
religion, you kind of just taking the easy way out.
Well,
you don't want to... I tell you, you pick a religion, though, you're like, all right, I'm going to just...
Well, can no one change your perception of it, though? Can nobody take that from you? Well, I'm not trying to, because I know what it does for me.
I know, you know?
So
it's like, I'm cool.
I just haven't had to come to
my thing with that is live and let live.
Yeah, definitely.
With regard, like you can have your religion, you can have your system
coming
of
to Jesus moment.
Yeah,
but until up until it starts to impact other people, you can live your life your way. You can have your belief system your way, but every major war has been fought over religion.
Thanks.
So
that's it.
And I will caveat and say organized religion because there are people that have their own spirituality that follow doctrines that make them feel comfortable. My personal thing is I believe in a higher power because if you just look at the science behind conception, there's no way that's an accident to me. But
maybe.
I don't know. I like where I sit with it because I know, like I can still get into prayer. I don't like reading the Bible often and then just things correlate and for me, that strikes a chord and I'm like, that's dope. I like it. It makes me feel it just, maybe you'll stop him from raping.
Jesus'
you can turn him from
Jesus'
a
mom would have been
from a rapist
Jesus'
to a
mom would have been in the slow walk today.
Hey, so, I'm not wearing her shirt. It is what it is. I like it though. I do believe in God though, for sure. Like I can't deny that.
You believe what you believe in.
Yeah, for sure.
He's being blissfully ignorant. That's all.
Hey. It's blissful, like you said, though. I like
looking
at butterflies.
Hell yeah,
it's comfortable.
Sometimes I wish I could. I was like, man,
hey, man,
I just fucking can't.
Hey,
that's how I feel about community.
Like, my hand is always out. Join me at the altar, brother.
Yeah, and that shit.
Come up here.
Every time somebody try to
accept Jesus in your life,
in God.
Yeah. Close your eyes,
and he said,
your heart.
And he said,
this is so offensive.
Yeah, fuck with that.
So grandma probably pass out. No, this fool probably catch flames.
Nah, the church probably catch flames.
right?
If I go up there, I'm like,
belong here.
get him out of here. Get him out of here. I'm up there dropping bombs. Dropping straight bombs.
This is a lie. That's wrong.
This couldn't happen. That's a lie. He killed kids. Y'all
This
cool
dude
with
is
that?
really your dad.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Wait, what?
This book's full of fucking stories, nigga. What y'all doing?
Hey, it's
Stories are meant to motivate you.
Hey, it'll
Yeah,
keep you
right.
from buying other books, right?
Nah, I'd rather
problematic.
kill Harry
How
Potter
much have you
series
read,
than
son?
read,
You said you read Harry Potter.
You know, it's an easy.
Oh, serious.
it's a-
I'd read like
Harry Potter's great.
probably after 6, 7.
So what's up though? Because religion is like a dead horse. We can keep stabbing. So what's up?
Male feminism. We talked about that. You're a male feminist. Figured that out.
Hey, great, man.
The way
hey,
he
send
said
that
that, though.
report.
He's like so upset.
I pay your taxes, man. Just do it.
Found that
I
out.
served.
My girl was like, "Fuck it." I mean, she doesn't watch clothes. I watch clothes because it's only right. It was equal, man.
What?
I wear tampons.
I mean,
Fuck it.
yeah, I
I'll
said
wear
that.
But
I
that
said all of that.
again, when it comes to
shit.
when it comes to feminism, though, generally, not including the outliers,
I tease, man. I just be joking.
but most of us are live and let live people. Like myself personally, in a relationship, I take a very traditional female role. I do all the laundry, I do all the cooking, washing, all
Yeah,
that.
it's fuck-
But I don't tell other people that that's how their relationship should be. I don't tell other people that that submissive role is works for everybody. There are men that are naturally more beta and women that are naturally more alpha.
I just don't like when dudes call themselves a male feminist. Then they're just weasels, man. They weasel inside the
talking
little
about like the
organization.
male best
They
friend?
get close. Yeah, that
yeah.
fucking guy holding a sign.
We
Bro,
hate him
definitely.
too.
Be a male feminist, fam, but get out of there. Don't get out. Get the fuck out of
but,
there.
have her
but,
number.
But there's something that I've noticed about that. A lot of the genuine male feminists back away from the feminist title.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, that's not really for me.
Yeah.
Even though they have all the
I've
same
heard that.
perspectives.
Someone's told
They're
me
like,
some of the same.
they'll be like, you know what? I'll have, I agree with the ideals, but don't call me a feminist. Those are generally the men that are
Regular.
regular,
Like
that
progressive, right?
that are legitimately
It's
feminist.
progressive.
Where-
nigga.
Then you have the
They woke
soft
men.
ass,
Yeah.
like faux woke, like I respect you.
Nah, that's
Let
easy.
me
that's an easy
get in
way
your
to slide
pants.
in the
You know what's
Yes,
going, you know what's gonna
and
fuck
that's what
us
they're
later?
trying to do, but
When
most of us recognize.
When you meet somebody, right, and you're like, what's up? Like, say you, right? I meet you. What's up, dude? And you're like, don't call me dude. I'm a
that's
I'm a fucking frog, man. I'm
right.
a frog.
I don't identify as a human.
I identify as a half frog, dude. I'm
Call me Toad, damn it.
yeah.
I feel like this is offensive.
It's not.
Well, no, it does get annoying. Cause
No,
like,
it doesn't
no,
get annoying. People have fun, dog.
No, I get
they're gonna-
annoyed with
eventually.
meeting them people in real life.
Yeah, eventually we're not gonna be able to fucking joke around. That's what it's coming to, dog.
No, I'm saying those people that are like, don't call me this.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
and
saying they're annoying.
Yeah, and they're gonna be the reason we can't fucking joke around no more.
Yes.
That's gonna happen.
Oh, for sure. No, like every time we crack an offense, like we
They're
crack
like,
a regular
so-
joke, people be like,
So at the expense of how I feel, you
Yes.
crack that joke.
Yes.
Well, yes,
That's
I'm
comedy.
one
That's how it's
person.
been.
Your skin needs to be a little thicker, right? We shouldn't get so fucking offended over everything people say.
oh yeah.
I really, if a dude was next to me and was like, I remember in Houston, some dude drove by and said, "Hey, what you say? Where you going, you fat black niggas?" It happened. I swear to God, it happened to
No.
Mo, Larry, and Dex. I laugh, nigga.
Time out. You have two friends named Mo and Larry.
I know. I said, yeah. I said, I'm curly this weekend. Nobody got it though. Nobody fucking got it. They were all like,
You said that, and I did not get it. I
said-
thought you was just talking.
I said, call me curly, and niggas just ran past. I said, wow, all right, fucking
hey,
losers.
you was ahead of the game.
Hey, I'm red up,
Hey,
man. I'm red
sometimes
up.
you just
He rolled by. He
so-
said, "Fat black niggas." They came upstairs. They said, "Some dude yelled that to us." I died laughing. I'm like,
Yeah, that shit's
I'm like, y'all
hilarious.
good, right? They were like,
we was all laughing.
We all laughed, but it was like nobody was in there. They didn't fuck nobody.
Oh,
night
yeah.
up. I know some dudes that'll
Yes.
fuck. We gotta go find that motherfucker. I'm like, bro,
There's two
nah.
different ways to do it. Like,
Nah, man, let
I
the
see what
energy
you
go.
said.
I have a
like,
question though.
yeah.
They called you black N-words?
Duh.
Fat
That-
black.
that happens,
Nick,
like-
not niggas. Nick stuck his head out the window.
Yeah.
Hard
Oh, they
ER.
do that.
He was
shit.
rolling too,
They
so
do
you
that
couldn't
shit.
catch him.
Listen, they do this
But
shit to
I
us. How long?
just
In a
think
mini
it's funny
video.
to call you a black N-word.
Yeah, they say black niggers, like they be doing that, and we're just like, okay, but y'all won't come back, and y'all
Right.
won't. No, they won't come back. They never come back. And then the one time some dude came back, he regretted it. So it's like,
Oh, I got in trouble one time because there was this dude on Six, white dude, and he had on like a Thriller jacket. And people were complimenting him, and he's throwing out the N-word left and right. And I don't like that shit. And I asked him, I was like, Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. So he keeps saying it, and I was like, "Why do you feel that that's necessary?" And he's like, "What?" I was like, "Saying the N-word." He goes, "Oh, this bitch said the N-word." Da 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 da. And he's he called me a bitch.
Nah, that's the trigger.
He's like, I grew up around all black people. Blah. People think their proximity to black people makes them like not racist by just like osmosis or something.
Depends who's watching.
But anyways,
yeah, definitely.
So
we're good face cards.
He goes on. He continues to say the N-word. A homeboy that was with us asked him to not say, a black man asked him to not say it. He continues on. The homeboy walks away. I walk up to old dude. I take his glasses off and mush the shit out of him.
Oh, you should have did that.
And
See,
handed him
feminism coming out.
I handed him his
You
glasses
think you're justified
back.
to push him in the face?
I sure am.
Oh, Lord.
Maybe
It's
not
my
justified.
prerogative.
What the fuck's he gonna do to me? Bam! Look.
No, but that's the difference between me and a lot of feminists is if I put my hands on somebody, regardless,
you know what's going on.
I fully expect to get hit back.
She signed the waiver. That's what's up.
Yeah, all right. Well,
I fully expect it, which is why, unless I'm stupid and in a one-on-one situation, I'm not finna put my hands on a dude.
You're smart. Some girls be super shocked when the nigga slap the fuck out of them.
But see, that shows them like I didn't learn.
But I will say I have been punched in the face by a dude completely without provocation. He like pushed his baby mama off the curb. I was like, yo, he was my homeboy. I was like, yo, chill out.
He hit you?
Yeah,
So your
like
homeboy?
punched me.
So your homeboy?
Still,
No,
I'm about to say.
closed fist 6 times in the face.
What are you doing?
So he pushed
Now,
he pushed his
where you
baby
at,
mama
man?
off the curb,
Let her fall.
and I was like,
No, let her hit the ground, pick her up, and leave. You're not gonna knock him out.
No, I didn't hit him. I was
attacked
like,
you?
yo, bro, chill, like,
He's
chill.
slugged.
And he punched the shit out of me. He had on his Greek jacket, and I like grabbed it and ripped his letters off, which I think probably made him more upset. Which is maybe why 4, 5, and 6 came. But
Damn it. It's fucked up because I was just watching this call girl who got her ass kicked by her John, and like he crushed her shit. Like he had her breathing out of a tube, and she was like, "When is this gonna be over?"
Hey,
it's
man,
wild.
He signed up for it.
what? Leave.
What? She did.
You're fired.
You know how pimps and hoes go down. He gonna fucking beat you. It's part of the
Oh,
pimp
wasn't
game.
it? Nah, I wasn't.
Bro, are you surprised when a prostitute gets beat by a pimp? I'm like, yeah.
Well, no, it's funny because not funny, but like the doctor was like, how long
babe.
she was trying to tell her to get other ways because she was like, it was funny because she said this. She was like, how else am I going to pay in college? Plus, I'll call the shots. It's my rules. And then we were like, but is this part of it where you get your ass beat?
Y'all don't understand the indoctrination that goes behind sex.
I get it.
There's such a problem.
Yeah, it's
Honestly,
a mind fuck. It's a mind fuck.
It's a whole mind fuck, and then
they get you young. They get people that are already.
But that's how they bait innocent people. Like it's just
and it's
just
people
like
that are
military.
already
It's just like military and social groups and groups of friends.
We
Like
should do
we all
conspiracies.
do
We should do conspiracies one time.
My conspiracy?
Nah, you don't got any conspiracies.
I have a small
about-
conspiracy. Small.
I'm talking about like big conspiracies.
No, it's small.
You don't have none?
Way.
I don't think so.
Okay, it's a lot of
Nah,
I mean, I think that the entire
conspiracy
system is
is just-
intentionally set up to disenfranchise black and brown people. But
I mean, yeah.
I don't think that's a
not even
conspiracy so much
yeah,
as
I
bad.
think that's
Yeah, we all-
that's a thought out plan.
Well
We know that.
documented
That's right.
fact.
I'm talking about like behind the scenes shit, like MK Ultra shit.
Like
what?
aliens.
MK Ultra. It's like
I do about the
they
bombing.
LSD drug like a whole bunch of college students, right? And they did it to like try to make them into like assassins and shit. It was dope. They admittedly did
So
that shit.
what about
or like
the crack cocaine?
the
out of
Tuskegee air pilots? Them up.
Tuskegee
What about
Airmen.
them?
Yeah, air pilots.
Airmen?
Yeah, airmen.
What?
Air
What's the
pilots, fucking-
what's the
Thank you
Air
for your
pilot.
gender neutral term.
That was pretty. And you didn't want it though. See, they don't know. They don't know what the fuck they want, man. They don't fucking want. They don't know what they want, dog. They can't be right, can't be wrong. Then if I do, then if I don't. What they give them was it? What they give them? Was it?
The airmen?
Syphilis, yeah.
What are you talking about?
Tuskegee Airmen experiment.
Yeah, the government
Air
gave them
pilot
syphilis.
experiment.
Gave them syphilis and didn't give them the cure for it. All black men. They didn't
I
give
didn't
them
know.
the cure. They gave it like an experiment.
No, I didn't know.
About
I mean, there's other experiments like the sleep experiments, and then just different experiments that college professors do, and that ones that just aren't.
They would take
documented, we don't
orphans.
know about.
They would take orphans and beat them, right? Beat them until like they were like robots, man. Like torture them and shit. and then try to make them follow like crazy commands to murder people.
There's this book I wanted to finish reading called Hitler's Army. I definitely wanted to get that book. Cause
most of the Nazis from the regime and shit went straight to Argentina, dog. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, they defected to Argentina, dog. Like Hitler died.
Sense.
Yeah, Hitler
makes
died.
sense why they got white Latinos then.
Yeah, so yeah, apparently
Well,
there's a whole
Nazis?
village.
That
apparently
is
there's a
part
whole-
of, that's
apparently
part of
there's
the
a whole
reason why we
German-
don't like the term Hispanics.
Apparently there's a whole German, like a lot of German villages over there, and they just rape people over there.
I mean, that's how you think I came about. So along the line, the tea was tainted, and here I am.
Nah. I think
I'm saying like way up there, like to where it wasn't so dark anymore. Or maybe not. You know what? It's fucked up. We always go to like somebody got raped in the process or someone had sex with someone
might
else.
just be a light nigga, man.
Honestly, it's like, hey, we just stayed inside all the time, and here I am.
or it could have been, it could have been
some
that.
food dye.
Not
Who knows?
you though, mom. Like deep, because mom's like,
Well,
no.
not mama. It's not mama. It's like beyond her. You know
it's
the
my
lines.
fault.
Anyway, yeah, that's dope.
I think we were mad wrong about Tuskegee Airmen.
Why?
Because I'm trying.
That's one of them facts that you
No,
Google,
no,
then you're like,
that-
oh, whoa.
Shit, I
No, that
said it
shit.
wrong.
That shit happened.
Conspiracies is just
Damn.
conspiracies is like a lap.
I'm looking.
The conspiracy's deep. The rabbit holes you go down was scared.
Well,
the shit
yes.
out of you.
No, I think
yeah.
it's cool because you could dive into each one respectively as deep as you want to go, and then you hit that wall, and you're like, huh.
You know, the
should
scariest
probably
one
go
is
to sleep now.
child trafficking.
That's
That's
not-
It's
That's
only
not a conspiracy.
I know
It's not so
it's
far-fetched.
only a
I know it's not a
conspiracy,
conspiracy.
as high as like the levels of government that do it is scary as fuck.
Honestly,
I will
it's beyond. After the scary, then it just becomes where you're just like, you just shake your head at it.
Nah,
I
you
will
just-
say that I, as a CPS worker, had a case that was essentially they're sealed, so only the caseworker and the people immediately above the caseworker can see it, and it was a child abuse case, but the reason it was sealed was because the father in the case was a federal informant in a sex trafficking thing involving the federal government. So whenever you say conspiracy with that, I'm like, probably not.
With child
Conspiracy as in them using kids as a currency to pay for deals and shit.
that's not so far fetched
That's not far fetched.
at all. Slavery,
mean,
if
I mean,
slavery was
y'all-
able to
I guess
Y'all
it's not
thinking on the
proven,
surface
so-
level, like it's easy.
No, we're not
to say,
thinking on
but
the
I'm talking
surface
about-
level. I'm saying like, yeah, it's a big thing, but I'm just saying like it doesn't seem so much as a conspiracy. It's just something
yeah,
like that
'cause
needs to be further investigated.
I'm talking
Right.
about deep, like Catholic Church. We all know the priests
Yes.
are rapists, though,
Yes.
right? And how they fucking hide how they move other priests so they don't get fucking in trouble,
Right.
right? And how like the Vatican is basically its own country. They
Yes.
can't get touched by FBI, none of that shit.
Right.
We all know about that, right?
No, didn't know about. I'm just
All right,
agreeing.
So
with
when I
you.
say service level, I mean like we know Catholic priests are touching kids, but the extent of
yeah,
what I say?
I was.
You
I
said
think,
Catholic.
I think-
I don't know if it's just Catholic. I don't know if we
say
can.
priests. Well, yeah, the Catholic priests, or maybe the Catholics. I don't know. No,
I'm saying it like
maybe all Catholics touch kids. That's what I'm saying. No, I'm joking. Look, I'm gonna get beat up. outside
I'm
the studio.
saying like church leadership.
yeah,
in
like,
general, not
how the Pope,
necessarily-
how the Pope before the Pope. That's which one was it? Francis. Not
Francis is
he
the
one?
current one, I think.
The one before him, Benedict. I don't fucking.
I don't know their names.
Yeah.
I'd be a liar.
But the reason he's out because he got blackmailed. They held that shit over his head that he was fucking deaf kids and all that stuff.
Deaf kids.
What a turn, man! What a turn of conversation,
Right?
dog. Yeah, my bad, man. I be reading this shit scary as fuck, man. Shit's spooked out. What you looking for, dude?
I've solved the John Benet Ramsey murder case at least 4 times.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that too. What the fuck?
eventually you got to go to bed.
Yeah, that shit's scary, right? You're like, damn, the world's fucking ridiculous.
It's crazy how
I found that compound in Mexico with like dead kid bodies buried underneath it. You heard about that?
What?
Yeah. Shit's recent. I think like a week ago. Nah, it's longer than that.
So I think I first started like reading into like conspiracies surrounding like government cover-ups when
Shit's scary,
the
man.
Oklahoma City bombing went off.
Yeah.
So I was a couple blocks away when the bombing went off. And the windows in the store across the street blew out. Me and my mom hit the deck, right? So obviously that was one of the things that touched home. So as I got older, I started looking into it.
Timothy was that
Timothy McVeigh, yeah. There's all these
He's still in jail, right?
I think he
didn't die yet?
I think he got the death penalty, or I think his penalty was carried out.
Oh.
I'm gonna look that up because I'm not sure.
I feel like he's alive. Or maybe
But there was a lot of conspiracies around whether or not it was an actual bomb, and there are some pictures, which again you never know, fucking internet could be doctored, where there's these cranes with wrecking balls parked right outside the rubble, like where it would have had to have hit in order to cause that sort of destruction.
They were saying 9/11 wasn't. They saying the planes didn't fucking.
Well, I think it's interesting that the plane at the Pentagon, that situation is super weird to me. The damage to the building.
Yeah, no wreckage. Yeah, that shit's wild. Like they were saying when the towers were built, they were built to withstand plane crashes. Like the beams in them. The beams wasn't coming down from the fucking plane.
Yeah, Timothy McVeigh's been dead since 2001.
That's what I'm saying. That's why when I say surface level, you like, all right, that shit's crazy. I'm saying like rabbit holes, some shit.
What I'm saying is that some things go from beyond a conspiracy theory to where you get interested, then you find the facts, and then it's like, oh shit, this is really okay.
Completely logical.
That's what I was saying.
Timothy McVeigh was.
It gets interesting once you start peeling back and you dive deeper. It's dope. That's always fun, and there's so many different ones you could do.
Read about Barack Obama. That's
Lord.
Fuck you. Yeah,
I don't care.
I
like
care.
I'm more so like because what I used to look up was like the child or the diamond mines of Sierra Leone. Like that first caught my attention. And then I learned about child soldiers and
talking about conspiracies though, man.
I'm saying no. I don't know conspiracies. I see it on them papers, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, you could poke at that all day, but like, I don't know. It's just I'm not saying it's irrelevant. It's just I'm not interested. So
that's fine.
Attention to it.
Oh no,
yeah, it's not to shoot it down for everybody. I'm just
yeah.
Most people talk about it. I'm just like
That's how I feel about religion. Like we can sit and speculate all day, but we're never gonna come to an answer.
When you tell me something is something, like you're fucking like 100% about it. I'm off that shit. You can't tell me what's right. None of us know what the fuck we're talking about. Then
I'm always open to learn, so I'm always just taking it in and researching instead of like I just say what I think and then they tell me what they think and then I'm like, okay, nice. That's where it gets fun.
Look into that further.
Exactly. That's always.
Well, how about this? We'll research and we'll come back next time. Thank you guys for coming. See how I fucking segued?
That was
a terrible segue. Then I ruined it. If I was good, I ruined it. Thank you, Rachel, for coming. Appreciate it. You got any plugs? No, you were going in. That's good job. Great job. Hey, Bub, thanks for coming late, but you came. Thanks, bro.
I did get here at 8:05 for the record.
Nobody takes records here, man. All right, holla at your boy on all the social media platforms.
Yeah, ran out of words, mixing these birds from the suburbs. Yeah, my cousins are killers, McGilla gorilla, I'm killing these birds. Murder. Riding the wave, girl, is you nave, niggas gon' love you. They don't. Smashing pads, baby, you easy, niggas won't cuff you. Nah. Hey, remember, health is wealth. Follow your boy on Snap, Pierre No French Show, Instagram, Pierre No French. Mixtape for my friends dropping soon. Yeah, that's a wrap.